I am Kanchan Vaidya from Mirabai Samant College of Engineering and Research, Nare, Pune. Today we are going to perform the practical of R&P subject, Radiant and Microwave Techniques. The aim of and title of the experiment is to measure and verify the port characteristics of isolator and circulator and to calculate its insertion loss and isolation in dB. From this experiment, students will be, the objective of this experiment is to calculate the insertion loss and isolation, and the main objective of this practical is to verify the port characteristics that we have already learned in the theory part and which is the important as per the exam. Always the questions will be asked to explain the port characteristics of the circulator and isolator. And by performing this practical, students will be able to understand the characteristics which they have learned in theory. Practically they will understand it and they will able to calculate the losses of these devices. So, first we will see the diagram. This diagram explains the isolator. Now here you can see in the first part, the block is shown. This is the isolator block. Input is given at the one end and output is taken across the other end. Now here you can see this is the isolator. Now in this isolator it has two ports, port number 1 and port number 2. It allows to flow only in one direction. This arrow indicates this allows to flow only in one direction. Now I will keep it as here shown in on the board. Now see, it allows to flow. The input is given at that port and output is taken across this port. Now, if I rotate it and input is given at this end and output is taken across this, but practically this is not possible. This is not possible, so I have crossed it. It allows to flow only in one direction. So, isolator, it is a device, it is a two-port device which provides to flow the energy in only one part. An isolator is a two-port device which provides very small amount of attenuation for transmission from port 1 to port 2, but it provides maximum attenuation for transmission of port 2 to port 1. So this requirement is very much desirable when we want to match the source with the variable load. So in most of the microwave generators, the output amplitude and frequency that tends to fluctuate vary significantly with changes in load impedances. And due to this mismatch of the generator output to the load, resulting the reflected wave from the load. But the reflected wave should not be allowed to reach the microwave generator, which will cause the amplitude and frequency instability of the microwave generator. So we use isolator. So when we use the isolator and it is inserted between the generator and load, the generator is coupled to the load with zero attenuation and reflections, if any, from the load side, it is completely absorbed by the isolator without affecting the generator output. Hence, the output appears to be matched for all loads in the presence of isolator, so that there is no change in the frequency and output port power due to the variation in the load. So always we use the isolator in between the generator and load. So as here you have seen this is a isolator. You can see here on this arrow on this isolator, it is shown for students that they will understand it allows to flow only in one direction. Okay. Now we will see isolator. See, this is the diagram of isolator. It has three ports. Port number 1 as an input port, port number 2 as a coupled port and port number 3 in the isolated port. Now, this arrow indicates it allows to flow in a clockwise direction, in one direction. If input is given at this port, it will be coupled to the port number 2, but it is isolated at port number 3. Now see, this is a circulator. You can see the clockwise direction part. It has three ports, port number 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now, if the input is given at port number 1, It is not coupled with port number 2 and 3. It is only coupled to port number 2 only. See, what is a circulator? It is defined as a device with ports which are arranged such a way that the energy entering the port is coupled to its adjacent port only, but not coupled to the other port. So, here in the diagram we see the coupling of port number 1 with port number 2, but not with port number 3. So, circulator can be 3 port or 4 port. So, if we take 4 port circulator, in that case, it has a peculiar property that each terminal is connected only to the next of its terminal in a clockwise direction, not in the anti-clockwise direction. So, this is about the circulator and the isolator port characteristics, and these characteristics we are going to check on the setup. Now let's see the block diagram of this experiment. Now this block diagram explains according to these blocks we will be having a setup of the microwave blocks connected to each other. Now always it starts with klystron power supply. Here we have to set at the klystron power supply, we have to set repeller voltage and beam voltage, so we will get the current, and the beam voltage and repeller voltage will induce the wave throughout the waveguide. Now after this, a klystron mount which will actually generate the current from the repeller voltage and beam voltage. Always next to the klystron mount a isolator is connected. Just now we have seen its characteristics because it allows to flow only in one direction. So none of the wave will be reflected back. So always it is connected just next to the generator. Next is attenuator block. Isolator or circulator, here the device or the waveguide which we want to test for its 4 characteristics, that we have to connect here. So here on the setup we will first see the isolator and then circulator. The port at which we are going to test, that port is connected to the detector mount and the other port is closed by the matched termination. The detector mount is connected to the CRO. So once we get a square wave on the CRO, it means our setup is working and we will get the output. Now, according to the calculation part, the formulas for calculation of insertion loss is minus 20 log of 10. It is VO upon Vin. Vin is what? Initially when we start the setup, we will take the first reading, and that reading we will consider as the input voltage. After connecting the isolator and circulator, at that respective port we are checking the output voltage, that will be considered as the output voltage. So we have to calculate insertion loss and isolation for all the ports of isolator and circulator. Like here I have mentioned, we have to measure the isolation for port number 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 1. So accordingly the observation table will be created, that we will see on the setup how to perform the practical and how to take the readings. Now this is a setup to perform our practical. As per the block diagram, this is a klystron power supply. Now from this klystron power supply we are going to set the voltage, that is a beam voltage and repeller voltage. Now what you are looking on the screen is the current after setting beam voltage and repeller voltage. Now see here, at voltage I have set a beam voltage of 251. Repeller voltage I have set minus 227. By setting these two voltages we get this current. It is around 12.3. While taking the readings it should be always greater than 10. So we will get the proper readings. Now after this first block, klystron power supply, this is a klystron mount. Now all these settings is given to this klystron mount and the waveform or a frequency of microwave being generated over here. Now as we have just now I have discussed about the theory part, isolator is connected next to the generator. This is our generator and this is a power supply to the generator. So here you can see this is a isolator block. Here we have a arrow which is showing in the forward direction, not in the reverse direction. It means it allows to flow only in one path. So it is connected next to the generator, then frequency meter, attenuator, VSWR measurement. Now this is a basic setup. Actually this, if you want to connect or not, it is not connected in the sequence, that will be okay, but as it here in my setup I have already connected all these things, so that will not affect our practical performances. Now here we want to verify the port characteristics of this isolator, so I have connected one isolator here. Now I have connected it in a forward path. So see, input is given at port number 1. Initially I have checked the input voltage before connecting this isolator. It is around 0.5 volt. Now see, I have connected a isolator and a detector mount is connected. Now see, here this isolator is having only two ports, 1 and 2. So no need to connect a matched termination, because at one side will give the input and the other side will take the output. So here I have connected a detector mount. The detector mount is connected to the CRO, and here you can see the output. See, the output is 0.5 volt. The output is same as the input voltage. Now we'll change the port of isolator. Now I will change its direction and then we'll see what will be the output. Now we have changed the direction of isolator. Now it is connected in backward direction. Initially we have connected it in this direction, as port input is given was at port number 1 and we get the output at port 2. Now we have changed its direction, but it will not allow to flow in the backward path. So see, on the CRO we are getting 0. Now we have completed isolator. Now see, this is the observation table. We have given input. First we measure the input before connecting the isolator, that was 0.8, and when we connect the output voltage we get 0.8. See, I have taken twice. Once I get 0.5, 0.5, second time I get 0.8, 0.8. So whatever reading we get, that we have to mention over here. When we change the direction of input at port number 2, input was given at port number 2 but output is 0. Why? Because it will not allow to flow in the reverse direction. Now we will see the graph, the observation table of circulator. Now I have connected a circulator. It has 3 ports. Now here you can see port number 1, look like this. Port number 1, 2 and 3. It has 3 ports. So it allows to flow in the clockwise direction. If input is given at this port, the output is coupled to just next to its port and isolated at the third one. That port characteristics we are going to check now. Now see, in the observation table we have given port number 1, 2, 3. These are the ports where we are going to give the input, and if input is given at 1, we will see the output at 2. At 3, what we are saying, as per the theory, it will be isolated, so expected output is 0. So this way we are going to check port number 1, 2, 3 for input, port number 2, 3, 1 for the output respective to this, adjacent to these ports, and the other ports which are being isolated. So let's now see. Here I have connected. Now we have removed the isolator and connected a circulator here. Now see, the circulator is connected. Now input is given at port number 1 and we are taking output at port number 2. 3 is isolated, so we have to connect a match termination at this port. We have to connect matched termination at this port, and we can see first the output at this side. Now see on the CRO screen, you will get the output. The output is 0.6. The input was given 9.9 volt and output you are getting 0.6 volt. Now here port 3 is now isolated. Now what we have to do? We have to take it out. The detector mount is to be connected here, and we have to see what output we are getting. Now see the connections. Input is given at port number 1. Now I have connected detector mount at port number 3 and I have isolated port number 2. So at port number 3 now we have to see what is the output if input is given at port number 1. So see at the CRO screen, it is in millivolt. It means, as per our theory, if input is given at port number 1, output you will get at port number 2 only. 3 will be isolated. A negligible output voltage you will get at port number 3. Now in the same way, we have to test for port number 2 and port number 3. Now what we'll do? We have to change now. Now initially we have given input here. Now second time we'll give input at port number 2 and we'll see output to its adjacent. This is isolated, that we have to check. Again change. This side will give the input, check output at this side, and this will be isolated. So in this way we are going to take the readings for all the ports. So this is the observation table of isolator, where we have given the input and taken the output at port number 2. Then so now here we have reversed the direction. Input voltage was given but output is 0. So this observation table proves that isolator will not allow to flow in the reverse direction. Now this is the circulator. As now we have performed the practical, same way we have to check all the port characteristics, and this is a circulator port. See, whenever input is given at port number 1, 2 and 3, we have taken the output across its adjacent ports. This is the output voltage, and we have checked the isolated ports also. See, the output voltage is very less, and from that output voltage we have put these values for port number 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 1 in these formulas for insertion loss and isolation, and here we have calculated insertion loss and isolation. So this way we have to perform the practical. These are the readings by performing the practical. Thank you.